Hi, hello, and welcome back to a podcast where I talk about going from corporate drone to corporate dropout as a fitness coach and gaming content creator because I'm a fitness coach for gamers. You know it, you love it. Welcome back to Chaos and Fuckery. I swear I will eventually get that intro down, guys. I am just not very good at it. But to this week's theme, because I'm going to talk about this both in the gaming realm and in the fitness realm. Today is a fitness episode. Thursday, obviously, is the gaming episodes. But this week's theme is overconsumption culture. As a creator that recently got access to TikTok Shop for Creator, I find myself trolling for samples all of the time. Not because I need any of it, but because I want to test these products. I am by nature a person that wants to test different things. And the kind of cool aspect of being at a level where I can actually get samples from companies is I can test things and then promote products I actually enjoy. I did a very similar thing when it came to my meal prep review, right? Back in January, I did a long form video that went through four different meal prep services. And I ended up finding one that was actually a local company to me that I would work with them in a heartbeat. I would open my studio and sell their meals in my studio for parents and kids instantaneously. Their food was good, their delivery service, so much so that after that video, I kept ordering that place and I would promote them without them giving me a single dime. Those are the companies that, I as a creator and business owner would want to actually work with, right? But it gets expensive to test all of these things to then not have any benefit to promoting them to my audience. It's the same thing when it comes to supplements. Every fitness influencer ever, the two companies you can probably guarantee a fitness influencer are working with are some sort of supplement company and some sort of activewear company. Those are almost guaranteed affiliate codes for most fitness influencers and honestly, most fitness coaches. Most of us have some sort of affiliate code when it comes to supplement companies and when it comes to, activewear. A lot of us even have partnerships with labs so that we can have you go get blood work done and we can kind of figure out some of your nutritional needs based on that. Because some of us do have training to at least review labs and make adjustments on things, on your nutritional needs based on things like hormones. So a lot of us, even as coaches, do have affiliate codes. Now, the one thing that I've always been kind of iffy about is I have an affiliate code, so I'm going to force you to use these products to be a client of mine. I would never do that. I could never do that. And I see that a lot in the bodybuilding space of I have this affiliate code with this meal prep company. You have to use them while you're a client of mine and going through prep with me. And I think that's mostly just, it's wrong. I will not say ethically it is correct, but I also believe that's mostly because you have to be so dialed in and in tune as a bodybuilder to get to stage the way you want to, that, a trusted company that makes the same thing every week and you're eating the same thing is actually a pretty good, not bad idea. But that's bodybuilders. And the problem I see with, fitness influencers constantly shilling product is we make our clientele, our audiences think that you need these things. I am seeing an upswing in wearable tech on TikTok Shop. Do I want to try the Oura Ring dupe? Yes, because I wore a Whoop for close to 2 years. I paid that subscription fee because the only reason I went with a Whoop over an Oura Ring is because I wanted something I didn't have to take off. I am bad as a consumer about, taking this thing off and then never putting it back on after I charge it. I wanted a wearable that I didn't have to take off to charge, and Whoop did that for me. However, the subscription fee got to me. So a lot of these Oura dupes don't have the subscription fee. They're significantly cheaper. And I would ideally would love to try that. However, I feel like shilling all of these products, right, even if they are products that I use, is creating an overconsumption culture in fitness. One of the major areas that I see this in is activewear. Right? You've got companies like Gymshark, Lululemon, Halara is a part of this problem, I think, even though I do want to try a lot of their stuff. I do think that they're a part of the problem when it comes to overconsumption culture because everyone thinks they need the next cute set. I see this like oversized, really stretchy set going around that's not Halara, it's someone else. I think it's Cloud or something like that going around TikTok Shop. And I do get ads that are very targeted to my niche, right? I get, a lot of fitness wearables. I get a lot of protein powders. I get a lot of active wear, that kind of stuff. And yes, my audiences may want to see some of these things, but if our businesses are reliant on overconsumption culture, we have done ourselves a disservice in business. And I think that's kind of the issue with content creation in general, right? If you are a YouTube creator, and one of my favorite creators, Cece Suarez, has said she would not be able to do things full time without her sponsors. If you can't do it full time without your sponsors, that means you are reliant, not always, but in, the early years of content creation, because with sponsored posts and things like that, they're paying you as the creator, and then you also get a kickback usually. But when you're smaller, you're probably more of an affiliate than sponsored, and you earn a commission on those products. And that's the issue with TikTok Shop, right? People who make money off of TikTok Shop are solely reliant on their audiences being over consumers. As they're promoting all of these new products, they have to rely on their audience buying them to make any money at all, right? I have promoted a few products now that I've been on TikTok Shop. One of them has been my pretty card deck. Why? Because I use this thing at least once a week, if not more, to, reconnect with my spiritual journey, reconnect with my witchy side. And I bought that for a reason. I bought it before I was even in TikTok Shop. I just happen to have it in my showcase now because I genuinely love the product. Not just because it's tarot, but because the cards are pretty. It's good for a beginner. But that has nothing to do with fitness. It's just in my showcase because it's witchy stuff. It's a part of me and who I am. Other things I've put in my showcase recently are products that I have here at home that I just haven't ordered recently, right? I am an affiliate with Advanced GG Supplements. I met them at MegaCon, and I've talked about this story in the past. I will work with them for as long as I still enjoy their products, and I love their small form factor packaging, so you don't have these huge tubs of things. I love their flavors. I've tried several of their products at this point, and I've yet to find one that's bad. One of the things I'm going to order in the near future when I have some spare cash is they've come out with a clear protein. I think clear proteins are weird, but I'm still going to try it because it's already a company I work with. If I was trying another company's, right, a lot of the influencers I watch are affiliated with or sponsored by the company Buff Chick. I have ordered one product from Buff Chick, and it's one of the ones that they promote the hell out of. And it was disgusting. That was my experience with them. I got influenced to buy it, and that was for a video, ironically enough, and I will never buy it again. Alani. I love Alani. I would gladly take one of their TikTok Shop offers if I can, because I buy these damn things almost on a bi-weekly basis because my husband also drinks them. When it comes to, overconsumption culture, I don't think our businesses should be reliant on that. Will I absolutely promote products I use all the time, free or otherwise? Yes, because there is so much goddamn slop in the fitness industry when it comes to just with products, right? I mean, there is so much slop. I'm seeing the resurgence of the freaking Thighmaster. What timeline are we living on? Why are we bringing back the Thighmaster? Is it going to build some muscle in your thighs? Probably. I'm kind of tempted. I was too young to be of the Thighmaster era. I'm kind of tempted to buy one just to, run a stupid video about it. But no, you've got, waist trainers coming back and Sweet Heat coming back where people are putting these gels on their stomach. No, junk slop products. Junk slop, all of it. You've got, one of the things that I wish I would have had a kid that's floating around TikTok Shop right now is the air tumble tracks. I loved those. I wish I would have had one because then I wouldn't have saved myself from tumbling into tree stumps on more than one occasion. However, you have to be careful on TikTok Shop specifically with all these products, but also Amazon's the same way. It's not just TikTok Shop. Amazon is the same way. I am reluctant to buy fitness equipment off of Amazon because I don't know what I'm going to get. Thus far, I've bought some things and it's been okay. And we've been chill, fine, cool. But in other realms, not so much. And I am in the process of building a little mini home gym. I don't want to do a full like rack and everything at home because I still want to go to the gym because saunas and things like that. However, I would like to have, a little setup that I can do some yoga and some foam rolling. And I have some of that equipment already here at home. I don't know that I would buy my equipment from TikTok Shop. That sounds scary to me. However, I've found legit real businesses that I order stuff from all the time. One of the things that I order a lot is wax melts. I have cats that like to try to sit on my candles, so I can't buy candles. And I buy the wax melts. And I found the shop that I ordered from currently on TikTok Shop. I ordered a lot of stationery, and I found a couple things through that. There are things that are worth buying that you don't need to buy regularly, that you can support their product throughout time, right? You can promote the product via multiple videos over time without having to buy it multiple times. And I don't know, that doesn't, it makes you money, but you're also relying on people. And that's kind of why I like to promote products that you might need to buy repetitively, like supplements, right? No one needs supplements, but people are going to buy them anyway. So at least we should be promoting the ones that are good and decent and, not full of junk or not, fat burners. I will never support a company that sells fat burners again, because yes, I have worked with Legion in the past and they do sell a fat burner, but now no. And that is one thing I do respect Buff Chick for. I will never work with a supplement company that sells fat burners. Now that I know a lot more about them, never again. So if, my current supplement company that I have an affiliate code with decides to start selling fat burners, nope. Goodbye. I will go find another one. Activewear companies, I think they are bigger issues, right? If you work with an activewear company and you rely on that income regularly, right? Who is buying? If you're buying sets all of the time that someone can in fact make a decent living of you being an overconsumption person, we've created a whole world of issues. Activewear is by far the worst in the fitness category, right? No one's buying equipment. Like, yes, there's a lot of junky equipment that I think a lot of people buy regularly. Things like stair steppers and, walk pads aren't junky, but, there's a whole series of reviewing different types of walk pads. So people have like 4 or 5 of them. Now wearables is becoming a thing. I've seen several videos since I saw the initial dupe of people buying like 9 to 10 different Oura Ring dupes. Why? I mean, I get it if you don't like one, or if you're getting them as free samples, but other than that, why? Like, take a break from the wearables, Jesus Christ. But, Halara, I see ads for their new sets and things all of the time. I think I've seen at least 20 ads for the damn sports dress that you just have to, stretch out the shorts so that you don't have to take off the whole romper. I have seen an ad for that at least 20 times. Everyone does an ad for Halara. And honestly, if I eventually spend some money on, one of their pantsuit rompers, now that they have that, I will probably also do an ad if it's something I like. Not gonna say I won't, because I've been interested in Halara for a long time. They just never had any, sets that I enjoyed, right? A lot of it was skirts and, cutesy girly things. And I think they're getting more into the mask side of females, because I think they're still mostly female clothing company. I don't think they sell. Now that I think about it, why are all of the overconsumption culture products marketed at women? Other than supplements, and even really then, you don't have a lot of, you have like Isolate and like Whey, and those are really the one, and Pre. You have like Bucked Up, that I think is the only company that truly just focuses on men. But a lot of the supplements are like gut health, which is like a girly thing, if you really think about it. It's not everybody has gut health, but if you really think about it, the greens powders, the gut health supplements, reducing other feminine things. A lot of these are, I'm not just now putting this together, but it's a lot worse than it was in my brain before I started talking about this. Because all the like activewear sets and things like that, all women. Because, men just have to throw on a pair of shorts usually. Most of them wander around the gym shirtless, which brings you back to, women need to be more conservative in the gym. Why? Men walk around shirtless, and you're lucky if they're not in shorts. Men want to see their muscles all the goddamn time. Why can't I? To each their own on that one, I suppose. But the overconsumption culture in the fitness world, at least, is definitely promoted and completely sold by women, but there's also a lot of men promoting it. Because I can't think of a single fitness influencer who I know who their activewear company is. Female and I know they all work with different ones. Like I know a lot of them work with Dark Sport, but I can name about 5 different Echovision or Rise male athletes, or ones that were both Echovision and then now a Rise as well. So why is that? I don't think I know I haven't seen any of the female Echovision. I've heard a lot of different things about them, but that's not the point. The point is they're selling a lot of, you know, women's stuff. And I get it, you know, women tend to be the ones to spend money and the shopping and the stereotype, right? What happens if we just stop selling? Like the overconsumption. Why? Why do we do this? Why do we need all of this? In fitness, you need some dumbbells. If you're a beginner, you don't even really need a barbell. You're going to have to work up to using the barbell. So, like, realistically, you could buy those adjustable dumbbells. I don't know what they're called, but you can buy the adjustable ones and get away with it as a beginner, for sure. I would say you need a bench of some variety that's adjustable if you're getting equipment at home, right? Preferably, you know, some version of, like, a cabling system, whether it be, like, you know, you throw a hook up on the wall and you can put bands on top of it that, you know, act similar to the resistance of a cable machine if you don't have a full gym. So bands, I think, are a pretty good tool to have at home. And, you know, if you're on the go a lot, a TRX system. That is about the extent of what you need as a beginner. I have a foam roller because I'm old and, you know, my body likes to fall apart on me a lot. And I like to be able to do that at home. I have a yoga mat because I go to beer yoga. That is the only reason I own a yoga mat. I wouldn't. But a yoga mat can also be helpful if you just want to, like, stretch. It's something to, like, lay down on the floor in front of your TV and stretch, right? You don't need a lot of these things. When it comes to sets, activewear, right? You need some sports bras if you've got the chesticles, and some shorts, and a shirt. Maybe a jacket. Maybe a pair of sweatpants if you are in a cold area that you wear to the gym regularly. You don't need 5,000 matching sets. You really don't need a matching set at all. Because I promise you, almost no one other than the internet you may share it with cares about your set. I look like fucking Adam Sandler when I go to the gym. When it comes to supplements, protein's nice to have, but it's not necessary if you can actually get it in through Whole Foods. It would be better if you can get it in through Whole Foods, but I love a good Ninja Creamy, so I always keep my protein on hand, and I will always promote good vegan proteins because they're hard to fucking find. That's why I promote, you know, a vegan protein. And then, you know, I always have some form of over-caffeinated pre-energy drinks, whatever it is. That's just me. I am a caffeine addict. And then the last one that I always have is creatine. But I have gotten creatine in so many different forms, and creatine is the most studied. So if you're getting any supplement, it would be creatine as a weight training. If you're not training, don't worry about it. If you are focusing purely on nutrition in your weight loss journey, don't worry about the creatine. If you're training and you want to aid your recovery, creatine all day, every day. Do it. And there's a lot of studies that show creatine can even be useful for like a longevity purpose. But, you know, if money's tight, don't worry about it. You don't need the pre's, you don't need the posts, you definitely don't need the intras unless you're a fucking bodybuilder. All of these supplements are just to sell you some version of, you know, magic pill, if you will. And, you know, TikTok Shop is now as gone as far as selling GLP-1 patches. I am sorry. I want to test them just to be an asshole about it. I want to get them just to test them and be like, yeah, you're dumb. I'm sorry, what? That's not how peptides work. A GLP, like, what? Do people just not do their research anymore? Like, they just buy things because people say yes? Why are we listening? And I say this literally as someone who promotes products. Why are we listening to other people? Why? Why are we listening to someone just because they have a platform? This goes for politics. This goes for, you know, buying products. This goes for everyday life. You are in control of your own life. And I'm doing a whole video in the future based on, you know, products I've bought from influencers, not because I didn't do my own research, but because they gave me the idea. I said, sure, you have a discount code. This looks like something I need. And I went and bought it. Some Jank as fuck. Others, awesome. You know, one of the products I really want to get in my showcase because I use this damn thing all the time is my Wolfpack Meal Management Backpack. Was it expensive? Percent. It was an obscenely expensive backpack. Do I use the meal management part of it currently? No. But is the little cooler compartment super convenient when I want to take some stuff that, you know, like these with me? Absolutely. Did I use the meal management part when I was an in-office worker? 100%. Will I use it again? Also, probably. If I start traveling a lot more, even just day trips, I will absolutely start using it for meal management again. I have the containers still. And on top of that, it's a backpack that came with the containers. It also, you know, fully opens. It's a great fucking backpack. Is it marketed at bodybuilders? Yes. Would I buy it again? 100%. That was not an overconsumption culture thing. That was a me trying to find a way to not have to carry multiple bags around my work as I was migrating around the facility to ensure that I fucking ate. That was me trying to make sure I didn't relapse as an anorexic. So yeah, it is absolutely useful for more than just bodybuilding. 100%, 10 out of 10 would buy again. I wasn't buying the mini backpack was probably an overconsumption thing. But I needed a gym bag that wasn't, you know, a full backpack. Because I go to the gym, I do my workout, I come home. I don't, you know, like go to work with I don't need a duffel anymore for the gym. Because I'm not changing clothes, I'm not showering, you know. I don't need a big ass bag. I needed a tiny little thing to keep my straps, and I don't have like belts and things like that. I needed straps, chalk, you know, somewhere to throw my phone and headphones, and my workout journal. That was really all I needed in that mini backpack. And the mini backpack I use, you know, when I'm out and about too, if I don't feel like sticking things in my pockets or don't have pockets. So that was my little rant about products I have bought. But when it comes to you as the consumer of, you know, the fitness influencer world, don't listen to any of us. I say that even as someone who promotes products. Do your own research. And I'm speaking probably to an empty void here of people who already know this, but I know a lot of people get influenced by these things. If you constantly see Hilera ads, I'm going to go buy a Hilera set and see if it works. If you constantly see these little like hat fan things and you live in Florida and want to go wander around a park, you're probably going to buy it to see if it works. I would say don't trust the influencer, trust a friend's opinion. You know, if someone else has already ordered it, trust that opinion. When it comes to supplements, taste is always going to be suggestive, whereas, you know, activewear is not as suggestive, or equipment is not as suggestive because, you know, it either works or it doesn't. It's either a good quality or it's not. There's not really a subjectivity to that argument. Whereas with supplements, I don't like the texture of a lot of supplements, so I'm very, very picky. And, you know, someone might not like my version of things. Lots of people like the Buff coffee from Buff Chick. I thought it was disgusting. Sorry? And I try to do that with my, like, taste videos. It's the same thing with Factor, right? Factor's not on TikTok Shop, but goddamn is it sponsoring every YouTuber on the planet. I will never take a Factor sponsorship. Why? Because I didn't like their product. I tried it on my own with my own money, no sponsorship. I think I used one of the YouTubers' codes to get a discount. I would never take that sponsorship. And I think that is the line with the business side. You have to take sponsorships from companies that you actually use and products you actually wanted to promote. If I got offered an Alani sponsorship all day, every day, I would take a life supply of Alani. If I got offered, you know, a what's their PRX. If I got offered a PRX kind of like sponsorship where they would ship me their equipment and I could set up a whole gym here at my house, I would probably do it because many people have promoted their products in the past, and I have friends of mine that have bought their systems and really enjoy them for their home gyms. I would absolutely take and do that, although that is a set of equipment that is way, way expensive. So I would not expect, you know, it would be I will promote it to my audience, but do not expect my audience to actually buy this kind of situation. If they do, great, but I wouldn't be hinging on commissions on that particular deal. And it probably would be a one-time deal because of the fact that, you know, there wasn't a good return on investment on that one. So from the business side, you have to be willing to, like, say, have a backbone and not work with companies that you don't support and don't use. And then you have to sing the praises of the ones that do, so that the good companies do shine through in this mess of overconsumption culture. From the consumer side, stop buying shit. I say this as someone who wants to, make money on TikTok Shop and have sponsors and things like that. Just stop. You don't need it. You don't need the new set. You don't need the new supplement. You don't need the clear protein. Yeah. Fun to try, sure, maybe, but unnecessary. However, I do want to make a Ninja Creamy with a clear protein once I get my hands on one. Anyways, yeah. Overconsumption culture in the fitness industry is absolutely taking over, and it is impacting us all. Everyone needs the next best thing. Everyone, especially with TikTok Shop, where you can just click the link and buy it and, promote random ass products just because you feel like it and you can. It's getting to a point where either it's going to break and no one's going to buy anything, and we're going to be in this, everyone's wearing their Adam Sandler gear for years, and, fashion, obviously fast fashion is on its way out, and I think that's true in the activewear. I think a lot of activewear companies are starting to lose their quality, and that's why they're not worth buying anymore. People are going to start returning to the Under Armours that have stood the test of time over, these new athleisure, Vuori, Lululemon style companies, because it's not as fast fashion and the quality actually lasts, right? I've had Under Armour shorts since I was in high school, and they still are fine, great, and awesome. So I think we are turning a course on overconsumption, especially as the economy continues to be what it is, where less people are going to be buying these things, and a lot of our, content creators are going to be hurting because they can't make as much money off of affiliate codes and things like that. It'll be an interesting time for fitness influencers, I think specifically, is going to impact more. But also on Thursday, we're going to talk about overconsumption culture in the gaming world, because I've seen a lot of that with, these gaming creators that do all of the aesthetic setups and chair swaps and all of these things. Why are chairs $500? Why is it hard to access a chair that, helps us do our hobby and actually feel good in our bodies? Stuff like that. So that's what would be Thursday's episode. If you enjoyed this little rant about overconsumption culture in the fitness industry and how it impacts both the business owner and the consumer, I appreciate you being here for all the chaos and a lot of the fuckery, because I am on the fence. As a consumer, I think a lot of this is crazy. As a business owner, I understand why the people on the business side are doing what they're doing. Anyways, I appreciate y'all here for the chaos and fuckery. And if you want to talk a little bit about this conversation, continue talking about overconsumption culture, or even what products you actually have enjoyed from TikTok Shop, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button for future episodes on what's going on in the fitness and gaming industry as I continue to grow my business as a gaming, or as a fitness creator for gamers and gaming creator, I guess. And welcome to the chaos, and I hope you enjoyed the fuckery.